I remember when I was young, I used to come down here for the summers. My moms would send me down here from New York, as a child. And I would spend my summers down here, in North Carolina. And, my summers were spent with my grandparents, and they stayed in a black middle-class neighborhood. Everyone that stayed in that neighborhood was friendly. They were of profession, They had careers. One was a school teacher, another one was a lawyer, another one was a carpenter, etc. And during my summers here, they were exciting. I mean, just being real, I'm coming from the concrete jungle where there's trains, buses, dirt. It's cold all the time. Well, not all the time in New York, but it's cold the majority of the time. Roaches, rats. It's just dirty. I'm not afraid to admit it. Maybe they cleaned it up a little bit now. But back in the 80s, it was just horrible. It was atrocious. And coming down here and seeing flowers and trees and sunlight, and it was just exciting. And I also used to visit my great-grandparent, which was my great-grandfather. And they all stayed in the house together. My great-grandfather, my great-aunt Odessa, my great-aunt Rosina, and my Uncle Shug. We used to go over there, and it was crazy because they were like, my grandparents were like a little bit more modernized, but my great-grandparent, and my great-aunts, they were like living like way back in the days, So we would go over there, and they would cook breakfast early in the morning because they didn't have an electric stove. They actually had, the wooden stove, and they would cook everything straight up from the ground. You know what I mean? Like, they would make their own everything. So they would, and if they didn't make it, they would buy it from other farmers or people that was around the area. So we would have like real bacon, real grits, real eggs, vegetables and fruit that was grown from a farm or from out back in their garden. And I never forget those days. Straight up, man. Like I really was like the last and dying breed of what the real South was about. Nowadays, I don't even know what the hell happened to the South. I just know that this is not the South. I just know that. And throughout my years, I mean, of course I got older, and, make the long story short, my grandfather died. And both my grandfather and my great-grandfather died. And my grandfather died. My grandmother was in a house by herself, and she, asked, my mother and I, that we want to move down there with her, to Durham, North Carolina, and we did. And throughout the years of living in the South, I've seen things change so dramatically till it's a shame. You know what I'm saying? Just the culture of the South as a whole. And just how the Southerners have become more dependent and less independent. And that's something that I cherished about the South when I was young visiting. You know what I'm saying? That everybody had their own business and everybody grew their own food. I ain't gonna say everyone, but a vast majority of people grew their own food. When you would wake up in the mornings, you had real grapes, real cantaloupe, real watermelon, seeded grapes, green grapes, red grapes, fresh melons. That's what I cherished and loved about the South. And nowadays, the South is just not the South anymore. It's just not. It's just an extension of the North. And that's real talk. Nowadays, all we do is we go to Target, your Targets, your Super Targets, your Walmarts, your Super Walmarts, your Harris Teeters, your Krogers, etc. to buy our groceries. The culture is dramatically or drastically changed. I can even go as far as the culture of the HBCUs, the historically black college and universities. Back in the days when we were coming up, man, going to North Carolina A&T homecomings or just homecoming hopping, you know what I'm saying? Going to Winston-Salem State, Fayetteville State University, North Carolina Central University, North Carolina A&T State University, man, it was off the hook. Pre-dawns, concerts, step shows. And I'm not saying that they don't have that going on as of now, but it's not like how it used to be in the 90s. There was a vibe. And it just seems as though that corporate America planted its foot on the South and sucked the living shit, the soul out of the South when it put its corporate American foot in the South. And I made a video it's called Charlotte has become a corporate city or something to that. And it's got about 18,000 views or something like that. A lot of people disagree with me. But a lot of these southern cities in states, they don't have any culture anymore. They're just straight up corporate. Where's my man at? I don't need to go to Food Lion. I don't need to go to Sprouts. I don't need to go to Whole Foods and Harris Teeter. Where my man at? Y'all know where my man at that got the farmer suit with the old dirty truck with a bunch of watermelons in the back. Seeded watermelons. I don't want no fucking non-seeded watermelons. Where's he at? I can't even find the man anymore. And that's all I see is seedless watermelons. That's all I could find. I just looked up, went to Sprouts and got this shit right here. And I gotta test this joint. I went through the test now. I went through the test, you know what I'm saying? Sounds pretty good. I touched the top, bottom of it. You know what I'm saying? Turn this motherfucker around. It's been laying, you know what I'm saying? Been sitting in the sun for a little while. I'm gonna bust it open and see what it's about. But this shit came from Florida. So you know how the fuck they do this shit. This shit probably been frozen, unfrozen, been in the refrigerator, you know what I'm saying? Just because it looks good, sounds good, that doesn't mean that it's good. And a lot of people will sit back and say, man, why you don't never go to the farmers markets? My nigga, the people in the farmers market sell the same shit. You ever heard of the food industry? The farmers don't give a fuck anymore. They corporate bought. Straight up. This fruit right here is an African fruit. It's so much nutrition in this motherfucker till it don't make no sense. You eat the seed. Well, I eat the seeds as well. Real talk. But it's just like the corporations don't want you to be independent anymore. Corporations want you to keep on coming back. This is the reason why they don't have seeded watermelon anymore. You want to know why? Because, hey, you know, I could take a seed and throw that bitch in the ground and grow my own shit. Where's the Southern hospitality? I go in these grocery stores. I drive around different places and shit. People don't say nothing to me anymore. Well, one of the reasons why is because there's quite a few Northerners around this motherfucker. I just came down here with their fucked up attitude. And then there's other people that just too scared to speak nowadays. People get clunked over the head by just saying good morning, good afternoon, how's your day? What you mean how my day is? Pop, 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 get shot for that? Nah, I'd rather not. What happened to the South, my nigga? I just want to know. I just want to know. Whether it's Charlotte, Atlanta, Durham, North Carolina, Raleigh, the list goes on. Jacksonville, Florida, you know what I'm saying? The list goes on. What happened to the South? Y'all getting BBLs now? What? That was unheard of back in the 90s. That was unheard of. Spike Lee came out with a movie called School Days, and the song was called Doing the Butt. Tanya of course Spike Lee didn't come out with the song. You know, EU came out with the song. Tanya got a big old butt. Oh yeah, we get a butt. The big old butt. Yo, big butts was homegrown. Wasn't no BBLs back in the days. It was just grits, cornbread, collard greens, Southern food. Straight up. That's what grew your ass. What happened? I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to get this. I want to comprehend it. What happened to the South? I just want to know. Because from my standpoint, it no longer exists. It no longer exists. And it's a crying shame. My Aunt Pansy and my Aunt Eldria, even though, you know what I'm saying, I was kind of like a city boy, they put my hands in the dirt. They put my hands in the dirt, my nigga. I know how to grow food. They used to have me work in their gardens. And then they used to carry them, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I wanted to make some money and shit, they used to take me around and drop me off at their church, their church members' houses. And I used to do the gardens for them and trim the hedges and all the rest of that shit. I was brought up amongst the elders. I know I'm older, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I still speak wise, like more wise or older than my age. Why? Because I was groomed around, the elders groomed me. That's the reason why I speak this way. And I'll never forget that. Never. I'll never eat genetically modified food. Excuse me. I'll eat it unknowingly. Like if they just slip it on, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I never eat that bullshit. I'm steadily, slowly but surely, trying to get back into that dirt. I used to think the New Yorkers had it going on. You know, the city slickers, you know what I'm saying? Stylish and shit. You look good. You talk a good talk, but you don't walk it. The Southerners were the first owners of their own business. Yeah, true indeed, they had a little Southern twang and they were a little country and reserved. Couldn't, you know, they really couldn't piece things together and shit. As far as dressing, some of them. But they had it up here. And while back in the days, the first exodus, the mass exodus, you know, from south going up to the north, a lot of them stayed. They were like, man, I ain't being tricked up there. I'm not going up there to live like shit. I'm not going to live in high-rise buildings and suffer aura infringement where people are living on the left and the right, above me and below me. I'm not going somewhere where I can't own a plot of land. Yo, nowadays, New York, you can't own any land. At least in the city. I don't know overall in the state. I used to think that the Southerners, I don't want to be down here. It's too slow. That's how you want life to be, my nigga. Not fast pace. Fast pace, you just ripping and running, ripping and running, ripping and running, ripping and running. Running in circles going nowhere. That's real talk. I want my shit to slow down. What happened? I don't see grandma on the porch. I don't see her on the front porch anymore with that little rocking chair. Y'all ain't got real patios. Y'all ain't got real porches in the back of your house. That ain't real unless the screen is around it. You know what I'm saying? You got, you know, your auntie, as they say it. You know what I'm saying? Your auntie and your uncle and your grandfather and your grandmother, and they sitting there discussing the world and everything while they nodding back and forth. You know what I'm saying? On a rocking chair with a toothpick in their mouth. Talking about, that sure was some good dinner. Yeah. It ain't nothing like no Southern food. But afterwards, you eating some type of fruit to wash everything down. What happened? I just want to know.